I thought my life was completely perfect. My husband was my entire happy world. Then my young cousin moved to our city. She broke my perfect world into tiny pieces. My name is Clara. I will tell you my sad story. I had a very simple, quiet life. I lived in a small, warm house. My husband lived there with me. His name was Arthur. I loved him more than anything on earth. His smile always made me very happy. We met many years ago at school. Arthur was very smart and incredibly kind. He told me I was very beautiful. We got married after 2 happy years. Our small wedding was absolutely perfect. Only close family came to celebrate. I thought our love would last forever. We cooked hot dinner together every night. We watched funny movies on the soft sofa. We laughed and talked for many hours. I felt completely safe in his strong arms. My heart was full. I have a younger cousin named Elena. We grew up in the same town. She was like a close, sweet sister. I always protected her from bad things. We shared all our deep, dark secrets. I loved her very much. Elena got a new job last year. She moved to our big, busy city. She did not have any friends here. She felt very lonely and quite sad. I wanted to help my sweet cousin. I invited her to visit. Elena came to our house very often. The 3 of us ate dinner together. We acted like a small, happy family. Arthur helped Elena with many difficult things. He fixed her old, broken white car. He was a good man. I thought he was just being nice. He was like a kind older brother. I was very happy they were friends. My life felt absolutely, completely, totally perfect. I had my husband and my cousin. I had my whole family. But things changed very quietly and slowly. Elena visited when I was at work. She brought hot lunch to his office. Arthur talked about her all the time. He said Elena was very smart. He said she was very funny. I smiled when he praised her often. But a cold feeling started inside me. It was a very tiny bad feeling. I told myself I was being silly. Arthur loved me with his whole heart. Elena was my sweet family. I pushed the dark bad feeling away. I decided to trust them both completely. I wanted to be a good wife. I wanted to be a good cousin. I did not know the terrible truth. The dark storm was coming. Arthur started coming home very late every night. He looked incredibly tired and very stressed always. He said his office work was very heavy. He had a big new important financial project. I made hot dinner and waited for him. I kept his food warm in the oven. I trusted my sweet husband completely and totally. I did not suspect any bad secret things. Elena did not visit our house much now. She said she was very busy too. I felt happy they both worked very hard. I washed Arthur's dirty clothes one bright morning. I picked up his white clean work shirt. A sudden strange smell hit my nose fast. It was a very strong, sweet, familiar smell. It smelled like fresh, beautiful, sweet pink flowers. I did not wear this sweet floral perfume. I liked the fresh smell of bright lemons. I held the white shirt incredibly very close. I breathed in the smell again carefully. My heart skipped a very fast, sudden beat. I knew this sweet floral smell perfectly well. It was Elena's favorite expensive, rich signature perfume. She wore it every single day without fail. Why did Arthur smell like my sweet cousin? My hands started to shake incredibly very badly. I folded the shirt and put it away. A dark cloud covered my bright, happy mind. I told myself a completely safe, innocent story. Maybe they just had lunch together one day. Maybe they hugged hello in the busy street. I did not want to think bad thoughts. I wanted to protect my perfect happy life. But the sweet smell stayed in my mind. I could not forget that terrible dark morning. The cold feeling grew much bigger inside today. I watched Arthur very closely that quiet evening. He did not look into my sad eyes. He ate his hot dinner very incredibly quickly. He said he needed to sleep early tonight. I washed the dishes in the quiet kitchen. I looked out the dark, cold glass window. The city lights were very bright outside today. I felt a deep, sharp pain inside me. I walked into our quiet, dark bedroom slowly. Arthur was already sleeping very heavily and deeply. I lay down next to his warm body. I tried to hear his steady, calm heartbeat. He was right there next to me completely. But he felt incredibly far away from me. His phone screen lit up in the dark. It showed a new short secret text message. I did not read the secret dirty words. I closed my tired, sad eyes very tightly. I did not want to see the truth. Our 5th wedding anniversary was coming very soon. I wanted to do something incredibly beautiful today. I wanted to fix our broken, quiet relationship. I planned a beautiful secret surprise weekend trip. I rented a small house near a lake. It was a very peaceful and quiet place. We went there on our sweet early honeymoon. I remembered the bright, warm, happy sun there. I wanted to hold his strong hand again. I wanted us to be truly happy again. I paid for the nice house completely today. I packed a small bag with nice clothes. I cooked a very special, hot, delicious dinner. I bought a bottle of expensive red wine. Arthur came home looking incredibly, very deeply tired. We sat at the small round kitchen table. I smiled a very big, bright, happy smile. I told him about the amazing surprise trip. I said we would leave on Friday morning. I waited for his happy, excited, loud reaction. Arthur stopped eating his hot, delicious food completely. He put his silver fork down very slowly. He did not look happy or excited today. He looked incredibly nervous and very deeply worried. He rubbed his tired face with his hands. He said he was incredibly, very truly sorry. He said he could not go with me. He said he had to work all weekend. A big project was due on Monday morning. He said his big boss was very angry. He promised to celebrate next week with me. He tried to hold my shaking small hand. I pulled my hand away incredibly very quickly. My bright smile completely, totally disappeared right then. A heavy rock fell into my sad stomach. I felt a very deep, sharp, terrible pain. I knew he was telling a dirty lie. His voice sounded completely wrong and very fake. He could not look into my sad eyes. I nodded my head very slowly and quietly. I did not shout or cry loudly today. I just felt completely, totally, entirely, deeply empty. I took the expensive red wine away quickly. I threw the hot food in the garbage. I canceled the beautiful, quiet, sweet lake house. I lost all my warm, bright, happy hope. I knew my marriage was completely, totally over. I just needed the absolute final clear proof. Arthur left for work early on Saturday morning. He wore a very nice clean blue shirt. He put sweet-smelling cologne on his neck. Men do not wear cologne for office work. He kissed my forehead and walked out fast. I sat on the soft sofa for hours. I stared at the blank, cold white wall. The silent house was my only true friend. I waited for the terrible bomb to explode. I knew the painful truth was coming soon. The universe will show me his dark secret. I prepared my broken heart for the pain. Saturday afternoon was incredibly sunny and very bright. I stayed inside my quiet, dark, cold house. My phone rang loudly on the small table. It was my best friend named Sweet Sarah. Sarah was a very honest and good person. I picked up the phone very incredibly slowly. I said hello with a very tired voice. Sarah did not sound happy or normal today. Her voice was shaking and incredibly very quiet. She asked me if I was at home. I said yes, I was completely, entirely alone. Sarah took a very deep, heavy, sad breath. She said she was in a small town. The town was near the quiet blue lake. She went there to buy some old things. She said she saw something very terrible there. My heart started beating incredibly very fast today. My hands gripped the small phone very tightly. I asked her what she saw clearly today. I already knew the terrible, dark, sad answer. Sarah said she saw Arthur near the lake. He was walking into a nice, expensive restaurant. He was not alone in the small town. He was with a young, beautiful, happy woman. The woman had long, pretty, dark black hair. They were holding hands very incredibly, absolutely tightly. They were laughing and looking very truly happy. Sarah said the woman was my cousin Elena. The loud world completely, totally stopped spinning completely. The phone fell from my shaking weak hand. It hit the hard wooden floor very loudly. I could not hear Sarah calling my sad name. I could not breathe the warm room air. A massive heavy pain crushed my chest completely. Arthur did not have a big work project. He lied to my face very incredibly easily. He canceled our romantic wedding sweet anniversary trip. He went to the same lake with Elena, my own husband and my own sweet cousin. The two people I loved the absolute most. They betrayed me in the most cruel way. They destroyed my pure love for dirty fun. I fell down onto my weak, tired knees. I screamed a loud, terrible cry of pain. Hot, angry tears fell down my pale face. I cried for my totally lost happy future. I cried for the fake, dirty past years. All his sweet, loving words were toxic lies. All her sisterly hugs were completely, totally fake. I was a stupid, blind, foolish, trusting wife. I stayed on the floor for many hours. The sun went down and deep darkness came. The dark room matched my completely broken soul. But the deep sadness slowly turned into anger. A strong, bright fire started inside my heart. I wiped my wet face with my hands. I stood up on my two strong feet. I will not be a weak, sad victim. I will face the cruel, dark monsters tonight. The painful, scary truth will set me free. Arthur came home very late on Sunday night. The house was completely, entirely dark and silent. I sat in the dark living room quietly. I waited for him to open the heavy door. He walked in holding a small travel bag. He turned on the bright yellow living light. He jumped when he saw me sitting there. He looked incredibly nervous and very deeply guilty. He asked why I was sitting in darkness. He tried to smile, a fake tired smile. I did not smile back at him today. I looked directly into his lying dark eyes. My voice was incredibly calm and very cold. I asked him about his big work project. I asked him if the lake was beautiful. Arthur dropped his small black bag on the floor. His face turned completely white like a ghost. He opened his mouth, but no words came. He knew his dirty, dark secret was out. I told him Sarah saw them holding hands. I told him I knew absolutely everything today. I knew about my sweet cousin named Elena. Arthur fell to his knees on the hard floor. He started crying very loud, ugly, wet tears. He begged me to listen to his words. He said it was a massive, terrible mistake. He said he did not love her truly. He said he only loved me completely forever. I looked at him with pure cold disgust. I felt absolutely nothing for this crying man. He was a complete total stranger to me. A man who loves you does not lie. A man who loves you does not cheat. He does not sleep with your own family. I stood up very tall and completely straight. I pointed my finger at the front door. I told him to pack his things immediately. I told him to leave my house now. Arthur cried harder and reached for my hand. I stepped back away from his dirty touch. I said my final absolute clear strong words. I said our marriage was completely totally over. I told him to go to his lover. He saw the cold strong fire in my eyes. He knew my strong decision was completely final. He walked to the bedroom very incredibly slowly. He packed a large black bag with clothes. He walked back to the front wooden door. He said he was incredibly, very deeply sorry. I did not say a single word back. I watched him walk out into the dark night. I locked the heavy door very loudly behind him. The house was completely mine once again today. The dirty toxic poison was finally completely gone. My heart was broken into many tiny pieces, but my soul was completely free and strong. The sun came up the next morning. I did not sleep at all tonight. I heard a quiet knock on the door. I walked to the door very slowly. I opened the heavy wooden door completely. Elena stood there with a sad face. Her eyes were red from loud crying. She looked like a scared small child. She tried to hold my cold hands. I pulled my hands away very quickly. I did not want her dirty touch. She started to cry very loud tears. She begged me to forgive her mistakes. She said she was incredibly deeply lonely. She said Arthur was very kind always. She said they made a massive mistake. She promised to leave him completely forever. I looked at her wet, sad face. I remembered our happy young childhood together. We shared all our bright, happy dreams. I protected her from bad, scary things. But she destroyed my whole happy life. She stole my only true sweet husband. She was a completely toxic, dirty liar. I did not feel angry right now. I just felt absolutely, completely, entirely empty. I looked deeply into her dark eyes. I did not see my sweet cousin. I saw a complete, totally bad stranger. The old Elena was completely dead today. I spoke with a very cold voice. I told her to stop crying completely. I said she broke my pure heart. I told her our family was dead. I said I did not know her. I told her to leave my house. Elena cried much louder and begged more. She fell down on her weak knees. I did not care about her pain. She caused my massive, deep, dark sadness. I stepped back into my quiet house. I closed the door very incredibly firmly. I locked the heavy door very quickly. I heard her crying outside the door. I walked away from the loud noise. I did not look back at all. My cousin was completely, totally gone forever. I was completely alone in my house. I felt a very deep, heavy pain. But I also felt completely, absolutely strong. I protected my own broken, sad heart. I cut the toxic poison out completely. I will start my long, painful healing. I will learn to live alone now. The quiet house felt incredibly very large. I sat down on the soft sofa. I took a very deep, clean breath. My completely new quiet life started today. I will be a very brave woman. I will survive this dark, scary storm. The first few weeks were incredibly hard. My quiet house felt very incredibly empty. Everywhere I looked brought a sad memory. I saw Arthur in the warm kitchen. I saw his shadow in the hallway. My broken heart hurt every single day. I decided to clean my house completely. I bought many large brown empty boxes. I took down all our wedding photos. I took down pictures of young Elena. I put them in the brown boxes. I closed the boxes very incredibly tightly. I carried them to the dark attic. I hid them in a dark corner. I did not want to see them. I did not want to remember them. I threw away Arthur's old dirty clothes. I threw away Elena's special teacups. My house looked incredibly bare and empty, but it felt much cleaner and safer. I did not eat much warm food. I lost a lot of body weight. I slept very badly every single night. I cried silent tears in the dark. My best friend Sarah visited me daily. She brought fresh, hot, healthy soup daily. She made me eat the warm food. She sat with me on the sofa. We did not talk very much sometimes. We just sat in the deep silence. Her quiet company was incredibly very helpful. She showed me true, pure, loyal friendship. She held my hand when I cried. She told me I was very strong. She said the terrible pain will pass. I slowly started to believe her words. One quiet evening I felt very tired. I looked at the bare white walls. My home looked like a sad ghost. I needed to change my quiet life. I could not cry in darkness forever. I needed to find bright warm light. I decided to change my living room. I wanted it to be my space. I wanted completely new bright happy colors. I wanted a fresh, beautiful, clean start. Tomorrow I will buy bright new paint. I will erase all the dark memories. This was my very first brave step. I will take my lonely life back. The dark monsters will not win today. I will rebuild my own happy world. I closed my tired eyes and slept. I slept completely deeply for once today. I dreamed of a bright yellow sun. I dreamed of a calm blue ocean. I woke up feeling a little better. The heavy rock felt a little lighter. My deep healing process officially started today. The bright morning sun woke me up. I walked to the big living room. I opened the heavy dark curtains wide. I opened the large clear glass windows. Fresh, clean, cool air rushed inside fast. The old stale air completely went away. I went to the local hardware store. I bought beautiful light blue wall paint. I bought new clean white paintbrushes. I wore my old torn comfortable clothes. I moved the heavy furniture very carefully. I covered the floor with old newspapers. I opened the large heavy paint can. The blue color was incredibly very beautiful. It looked like the clear summer sky. I dipped my brush into the paint. I painted the first long blue line. It felt incredibly, totally, absolutely, deeply satisfying. I painted the bare white walls slowly. My arms got very tired and sore, but my busy mind felt incredibly calm. I focused completely on the blue color. I did not think about bad Arthur. I did not think about cruel Elena. I only thought about my beautiful walls. I worked hard for many long hours. The whole room turned bright, beautiful blue. I stepped back and looked at it. My old sad living room was gone. A completely new bright space appeared today. I smiled a very real happy smile. I felt a massive heavy weight lift. The terrible dark ghost left my house. I made something incredibly beautiful all alone. I washed my dirty hands with soap. I ordered a hot, delicious, nice pizza. I sat on the floor and ate. I looked at my beautiful blue walls. I felt very incredibly proud of myself. I was a very strong, brave woman. Sarah visited me the next sunny day. She loved the new bright blue color. She brought me some bright yellow flowers. We put them in a clear vase. The yellow looked perfect against the blue. Sarah told me about a new class. She said it was a pottery class. She said I should definitely join it. She said making art is very healing. I thought about her smart, kind words. I never made pottery in my life, but I wanted to try new things. I wanted to meet new kind people. I said yes to her great idea. I signed up for the new class. I felt incredibly excited and very nervous. My quiet life was finally moving forward. I was building a completely new me. The broken, sad wife was completely gone. The strong, independent woman lived here now. I went to the small art studio. It was a warm, bright Thursday evening. There were many friendly people inside there. The kind teacher smiled a warm smile. She gave me a gray clay block. The clay felt cold and very heavy. I sat at a wooden spinning wheel. The teacher showed us what to do. I pushed the heavy wheel with my foot. The wheel spun incredibly very fast today. I put my wet hands on the clay. The wet clay felt very soft now. I tried to make a tall vase, but my hands were incredibly very clumsy. The clay fell down and broke completely. I felt a little bit sad then. The kind teacher walked over to me. She smiled and fixed the broken clay. She said broken clay is completely fine. We can always make something totally new. Her smart words hit my heart deeply. I was exactly like that broken clay. My perfect life was broken into pieces. But I can make a new life. I started to push the clay again. I used gentle and slow hand movements. The clay slowly grew very tall today. It became a beautiful small round bowl. I felt incredibly absolute total pure joy. I created a beautiful thing from dirt. I went to the class every week. My hands became incredibly strong and smart. I made cups and plates and bowls. I painted them with bright, happy colors. I met many nice, friendly new people. We laughed and talked while we worked. I forgot my dark past very completely. The spinning wheel brought me pure peace. My busy mind was completely, perfectly quiet. I brought my beautiful bowls home proudly. I put them in my blue room. My house looked incredibly warm and happy. I realized a very important deep truth. Healing takes a lot of slow time. It takes patience and very hard work. But the broken pieces become beautiful art. My broken heart became incredibly very strong. I loved my completely new quiet life. I did not need a lying husband. I did not need a fake cousin. I only needed my own strong hands. I found my true happy self again. I was ready to face the world. I was totally, completely, absolutely, finally healed. I drank tea from my handmade cup. The hot sweet tea tasted incredibly delicious. I looked at the bright yellow flowers. I smiled a deeply peaceful, warm smile. The dark storm was completely, totally gone. My bright sunny morning was finally here. One warm afternoon, I walked down the street slowly. I saw Arthur and Elena walking toward me quietly. My heart did not beat fast at all today. I felt completely, totally, absolutely calm inside. They stopped walking and looked very scared of me. I looked at them with calm, quiet eyes today. I said hello with a very soft, nice voice. I did not feel any angry, bad feelings. Elena asked me how I was doing today. I said I was very good and truly happy. Arthur smiled a very small, sad, quiet smile. They were completely part of my past now. I walked past them into the bright sun. I did not look back a single time today. I went back to my beautiful blue house happily. I called my sweet mother in the evening. I told her I saw Arthur and Elena today. I told her I was completely ready to move on. My mother said she was incredibly proud of me. I felt incredibly light and very peaceful tonight. I opened my small notebook on the wooden table. I started to write my own true story down. I wrote about the terrible pain and deep sadness. I wrote about the beautiful light blue paint. I wrote about my nice pottery clay bowls. Writing felt exactly like making beautiful new art pieces. It made something beautiful from my broken past years. I felt very happy and deeply satisfied. The next day I went to the green park. I sat on my favorite brown wooden bench. I saw a small girl crying very loudly there. She dropped her sweet ice cream on dirt. Her kind mother bought her a new ice cream. The little girl smiled a very big, bright smile. She completely forgot about the old dropped ice cream. Sometimes we lose something we love very much, but we always find something much better later. Hearts can always heal with slow, quiet time today. My name is Clara and I am a survivor. My beautiful new life is absolutely perfectly complete.